Astrology, as we know it today, has its roots in the ancient times. Western astrology, in particular, can trace its roots back to the Babylonian times. One of the most well-remembered astrologers of the old time is Ptolemy. Ptolemy's principles of the astrology, definitions of the basics of the astrology are still in use by the astrologers today and the Western astrologers in particular. Hello and welcome back to the Divine Zodiacs. Subscribe and turn on post notification so you will never miss any for future fascinating videos. Ptolemy or Claudius Ptolemy was an accomplished astronomer and the mathematician who lived in the 2nd century AD. He was a Roman citizen of Greek descent and is famous for his mathematical model of the universe. The Almagest and the planetary hypothesis record his work. The Tetra Bibles is the work on the Ptolemy principle of the astrology. They are the source of the theories of the classical astrology and the individual components of the horoscope that installed. Ptolemy also produced a work called the Geography. This had the geographical coordinates of all the parts of the world known to the Romans at the time. Ptolemy theory is similar to the thought process of the time, which was a geocentric. At that time, people believed that the earth was stationary and all the other heavenly bodies traveled around the earth, while the astronomers of the time were of the belief that these heavenly bodies had perfect circular paths around the path. Ptolemy theory deferent. Ptolemy model said that the planetary irregular movements were a combination of the circular motions that appear irregular when viewed from the stationary Earth. This principle was not entirely new. It has been recognized by the Greek scientists such as the mathematician Hipparchus. However, Ptolemy model was an accurate predictive model as were continued to be in use until the 16th and 17th centuries when the scientific community slowly began to stop thinking of the Earth as the center of the universe. Kepler's law of the planetary motion and the Copernican system finally replaced the Ptolemaic model. Ptolemy model successfully explained why planets appear to be moving slowly when far from the Earth and appear to be always the first when nearest to the Earth. It also explained why the planet appears to be moving with a retrograde motion after reaching its perigee. It theorized if the Earth was the center and if a body was moving at a steady speed in a circular path, it would also be at an equal angle and at equal times when viewed from the Earth. By displacing the center of the path from the Earth showed how heavenly bodies were at equal angles at the unequal times. Ptolemy combined eccentric motion with an epicycle model to explain the planetary movements. Ptolemy's principle of the astrology theorized that the planets move around a circular path called the epicycle. The center of this epicycle is in motion around the Earth along a larger circular path called the deferent. Because these two paths were running together at the same points in the times of the path epicycle would run counter the path of the deferent, they would be causing the planet to appear. They would be causing the planets to appear and be slowly down to the retrograde. He further defined a point called the equant. This is the point from which the deferent also swept out at equal angles. Ptolemy defined the center of the deferent as halfway between the equal and the Earth. Tetra Bibles translates into 4 books. It is a work on Ptolemy principles of the astrology that explains the basics of the astrology in 4 chapters. The zodiac signs, the planets, the houses and the major aspects. The meanings and the definition of these 4 parts of the horoscope have remained unchanged since they were written by the Ptolemy. The planets used in the Ptolemy time were the one visible to the naked eye. They are the planets stellar stone. It was also over astronomers started using telescopes and the binoculars that the other planets were discovered and started being used in the astronomy and the astrology. Ptolemy used the equal house system that divides the houses into 30 degrees each from the ascendant. In present time, the Placidus house system is in use. It is named after Placidus de Titus. The Tetra Bibles defines the 5 major aspects still used today. They are the position, conjunctions, trine, square and the sextile. The original definition of the 5 major aspects are stated by the Ptolemy have stood the test of times and hold good even today. They are still the most respected and important ratios that are studied in horoscope. That's it for today. Subscribe and turn on post notification so you'll never miss any for future fascinating and interesting videos like that one.